Greetings and salutations, one and all. Welcome to the night shift. How you doing? It's a Tuesday night right here on the night shift. A thing we're doing a thing we call healthy love. So many thoughts going through my head right now. It's healthy love night right here on the night shift with DJ Kevin Stew. How you doing on this very special night? What's so special about it? It's my Earth date. That's what's so special about it. How you doing? Big ups to all those who are locked in right now. Those on TuneIn Radio, welcome. Those who are locked in on our affiliate stations, One Harmony Radio. Top of the morning to you guys over there in the UK. Big ups. King Genius, Queen Genius. Big ups. Welcome. Glad to have you guys. Those locked in on WGLRO, home of the Donnie Walker Morning Show, taking you from the sheets to the streets, from Detroit to Denmark and everywhere in between. Big ups to you. Those have it locked on PEMG TV. Have it. Those who are, of course, here at the home of the night shift with DJ Kevin Stew, kevinstew.com. Glad to have you. Couldn't do it without you. You have my word. I wouldn't even try.
Yo, Teddy, say what you want to say.
Something on my chest.
You can get it off a little Teddyson John.
He asked you a question. Can I say what I want to say?
It's called Vent.
Can I say what I want to say? I really want to say it. People don't know ya, but they won't judge you. They talking about ya. Must be something about you. Smile in your face and talking you bad and making up things that far from the facts. Why you talking about me? Talking about me. I'll be pressing on, doing my thing. I'm telling you, please don't judge me. God don't put you to watch me. He don't like ugly, so tell them keep their eyes off me. Off of me. Keep on talking. Yo, capale. Say what I want to say. I really want to say it. At the back of your mind, you want to say this sometimes. Let me say what I want to say. I really want to say it. I'm begging you, please don't judge me. God to put you to watch me. He don't like ugly, so tell them keep their eyes off me. Off of me.
I want to say thanks to Pulse Media Group for sponsoring this segment of the show. When being in the moment is priceless, give them a call. They can do for you what they do for me, trust me, and more. You want to have your own internet streaming channel? Go ahead and give them a link. You could be a church, you could be a business. You could be an individual that has an event. You could have regular events. Let's give them a call or visit them on pulseemg.com. Tell them you heard about them on the night shift with DJ Kevin Stew. So tonight, Unhealthy Love, we're talking about something that I'd like to say I'm passionate about. It's something that we have an opinion about. Well, I know I have an opinion about it. A lot of it, it's just a feeling, you know? Call it the conspiracy theorist in me. Call it whatever you want to call it. But there's something about the whole vaccination industry in the United States that it just bothers me. So I invite you to join in, call in, text in, participate any which way you see fit. Even if it is just that you're looking at the screen and nodding your head, or shaking your head, doesn't really matter. Agree, disagree, as long as you're listening. And you can call up somebody and say, you know, I think what Stu is talking about is foolishness. Or, you know, Stu has a point. Any which way you want to slice it, any which way you want to look at it. Jump into the Stew Pot on kevinstew.com, where we can be interactive. It's judgment free. What's a Stew Pot, you might ask? Others call it a chat room. We're very fancy over here. We call it the Stew Pot. Alright, Teddyson John, I'll let you go. I think I might start tomorrow's show with this song too. There's something about it. So we're riding on the vaccine train, and why did I choose to title it that way? When you really think about it, what's it called? The vaccination schedule? The vaccination requirement, whatever you want to call it. The amount of vaccinations that children are getting today. 10 years ago, you would look at it and go, what? Take it even further. 20 years ago. 30 years ago. It's completely different. So let's leave out the 10 years ago, because it seems to be more of the norm within the last 10 years than prior to that. But this whole vaccination thing, when you really look into it and you compare it 30 years ago to now, 40 years ago to now, you really have to wonder what is going on. And it's at the point where in the US they're passing bills that really dictate how the whole vaccination thing is supposed to go. Bills to either remove or restrict vaccine exemptions have been filed across the US in 2019. One of the most striking of these bills was New York's A2371, which eliminated the religious exemption to vaccination in one day with no public hearings. Soon after, New York State health officials eliminated the ability of doctors to grant medical exemptions to school children. Now, if this doesn't look like a runaway train heading for imminent disaster, I don't know what does. The bill's sponsors justified its passage by bringing up more than 800 cases of measles reported in New York City from September 2018 to June 2019. Although reportedly no school children with religious vaccine exemptions had developed the disease. So the people that actually developed the disease were the people that were vaccinated? Things that make you go, So, as it is right now, measles continues to be a Trojan horse for legislators to increase vaccine mandates and eliminate vaccine exemptions. But mandatory vaccination laws built around measles fear-mongering are not aimed only at measles, mumps, and rubella and the vaccination related to it. Once a policy or a law is put in place, like the elimination of the religious exemption to vaccines that occurred in New York, it applies to all vaccines, not just the MMR, which is your measles, mumps, and rubella, if you're not familiar with MMR. And this here now is a slippery slope, one that could significantly increase mandates for everyone to use all federally recommended vaccines already on the overloaded vaccine schedules for children and adults, as well as new vaccines that will be added in the future. And you really have to ask the question, why are we adding new vaccines? Well, maybe we need to go back to asking the question, why were vaccines created in the first place? Do some research. Look at why. Look at the purpose it served when the first vaccine was administered. A new bill introduced in New York, S298/A2912, would require children to receive the human papilloma virus, HPV, and they would have to receive this vaccination to attend public school or daycare, even though HPV is a disease that cannot be transmitted in a school or other public setting. Albany Update Report reads, a section of it, an excerpt, reads, the repeal of New York's religious exemption made one thing clear. Most New York lawmakers believe the decisions about child vaccination should be made by the state, not by parents. This message raises a troubling question. Will the legislature look at the legislature, not the legislator? Will the legislature look at look to take further steps to mandate further vaccinations, child vaccinations? What might those steps look like? Now you're starting to get the picture, right? One possible move the legislature might make is to pass a law mandating the vaccination of children against the human papilloma virus. There are 3 FDA licensed HPV vaccines. 3. But only Gardasil 9, which is manufactured by Merck, is available in the US. The US CDC recommends 2 doses of Gardasil 9, which is approved for females and males aged 9 to 26 years. HPV is a sexually transmitted disease and one of the most common of STDs in the US. There are more than 200 HPV types, most of which are not harmful. According to the American Cancer Society, about 75% of HPV types may cause non-cancerous warts on the hands, chest, arms, and feet, while about 16 HPV types are considered high risk and may increase the risk of certain cancers, including cancers of the cervix. However, in 90% of cases, HPV infection of the cervix clears and goes away on its own without complications that can lead to chronic HPV infection and cancer. So, why then is there a vaccination that is going to be mandatory? Further, in developed countries, PAP screening programs have reduced the incidence of cervical cancer significantly. As noted by the National Vaccine Information Center, after pap smear tests that screen for cancerous conditions became a routine part of gynecological care, for American women in the 1960s, US cervical cancer cases dropped by 75%. Which means it works, right? New York's proposed bill to make HPV vaccination mandatory for children to attend school or even daycare has been met with backlash from parents for multiple reasons. Opponents have raised issue with the notion of requiring children to get a vaccine for a sexually transmitted disease. For starters, in Albany, they're saying requiring parents to vaccinate their children against sexually transmitted diseases is a troubling prospect. A mandated vaccination for a sexually transmitted disease implicitly assumes that young people will be sexually active with multiple partners. This assumption is both untrue and damaging. It sends young people the message that sexual promiscuity is expected or even encouraged. Again, the state is taking parenting out of the parents' hands. So, what kind of people are making up the decision makers of the state? Aren't parents a part of this group? And if so, are these children being mandated to get this medication, this vaccination? Or are those children exempt? Do they get the doctors to doctor the documents to say that they have this vaccination already. What happens with them? HPV vaccine is also associated with serious adverse reactions. When Merck's Gardasil vaccine was first approved in 2006, and some people might remember this, thousands of reports of seizures, Guillain-Barré syndrome, GBS, facial paralysis, disabling fatigue, blood clots, muscle pain, and weakness, all these were reported as a result. When Gardasil 9 was approved in 2015, the number of recommended doses was reduced from 3 to 2, but adverse event reports continued. According to the NVIC, using the Medical Alerts search engine as of May 31st, 2019, the Federal Vaccine Adverse Event Reporting System, VAERS, contains more than 62,393 reports of HPV vaccine reactions, hospitalizations, injuries, and deaths, and includes 503 related deaths, 6,286 hospitalizations, and 3,018 disabling conditions. Nearly 47% of the reported serious adverse events occurred in children and teens ages 12 to 17. They haven't even started life. Gardasil has distinguished itself as the most dangerous vaccine ever invented, stated Robert F. Kennedy Jr., chairman of Chief Legal Counsel for Children's Health Defense. In the Plaintiff's Science Day presentation on Gardasil, Kennedy revealed Merck data showing Gardasil increases the overall risk of death by 370%. Not 100%, not 200%, not 300%. 370%? Seriously? The risk of autoimmune disease increased by 2.3% and risk of all serious medical conditions by 50%. According to Kennedy, National Cancer Institute (NCI) data show the mortality rate for cervical cancer is 1 in 43,478. That's 2.3 per 100,000. And the median age of cervical cancer death is 58. 58. Not 20, not 30, not even 40. To eliminate that one death, all 43,478 must pay $420. The average cost of the 3 Gardasil injections. All of them must pay $420. Can you imagine how much money that is? Kennedy said that a recommendation by the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention for all children to get HPV vaccinations has provided Merck with an annual revenue of $2.3 billion. With a B. Billion. From that alone. That's just one vaccination. At this point, shouldn't people be saying, wait a minute, hold on. works. Let's pump some brakes. Let's pull up the emergency. Let's put up some roadblocks. Let's throw out the spikes. Let's get something to get this vehicle stopped. Somebody need to cut the engines on this train. Somebody need to blow the bridge. Somebody need to do something to stop this train because it is heading for imminent doom. Now, I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one that sees this. Dr. Richard Mercola isn't the only one that sees this. The Centers for Disease Control isn't the only one that sees this. So, why is it that it is being passed? Bills are being passed to say that this can go on. That doesn't spell sense to me. Not even nonsense. And nonsense is way up there on the list. It doesn't cut it. Nowhere close. So, if anybody can help me understand why it is that bills are being passed to say, hey, listen, let's go ahead with this vaccine thing. Let's make it impossible for anybody to claim religious beliefs. Let's take away the doctor's ability to say, hey, these people, they don't need to take these vaccinations. But instead, mandate that almost 50,000 people, as a start, pay $420 each for this vaccination that between the ages of 12 and 17 you're required to have. But the average 2.3 out of 100,000 that contract the deadly form of this condition would die at about age 58. So they would live a pretty much a full life. What's the argument there? The type of life that they're going to live? How are you going to dictate what kind of life they're going to live? Is there a hard and fast rule that says somebody diagnosed with this is definitely going to live this kind of this particular type of a way? Boy, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Follow that money trail, because that will tell you exactly who the engine and the engineer on that train is. We're heading to a very dark place very fast. Something needs to be done. Something positive needs to be done. The thing is, we are the ones who actually have the power to do it. We, the lay people. What gives us the power? That little thing that everybody banks on. That vote. Yeah. That gives us the power. We're going to take a quick little break. When we come back, we talk some more. Call a friend, tell a friend. It's the night shift to DJ Kevin Stew. We're talking about vaccinations once again. It's one of those things I tend to get a little bit passionate about. But then again, when it comes to our health, why shouldn't we? We'll be right back.
Quality Media Group, innovative streaming and recording, has done it again. A new way to get your business in full view of your neighborhood consumer through AdShare TV. It's available in your neighborhood today. It's easy. Just call us 754-999-6020. Become a host today and place a TV monitor in a strategic location so it's easy to see. Get a 1-minute video ad or longer that plays anywhere in our network. Can't be a host? No problem. For a few dollars, we'll run your 30-second video ad. A host can run announcement specials like buy one get one free or discount ads. Let's turn your flyers into a 30-second video with music or a voiceover, or let us create and run your video ad with a spokesperson. Take advantage of our early enrollment discount. Join us today. Your ad will be seen at least 30 times per day in your AdShare TV neighborhood. It's easy. Just call us 754-999-6020. AdShare TV, part of Pulse Media Group.
Are you crazy about the music industry? You aspire to hit it big in music? Or maybe you've sweated out a soulful killer beat and are now stuck finding it's not as easy as it looked. Oh, but it can be easy for you with JTMC. We've been there, we know how it feels, so we solve challenges like production, promotion, marketing, branding and development, and more. With over 30 years of experience, JTMC is a one-stop shop for artists. We handle your graphic design, writing services, PR, as well as event planning, e-blasts, artist management, and bookings, so also your website and social media needs as well. We're experts in using creativity to persuade audiences on behalf of artists, drawing on our diverse experience to create projects that connect with audiences intellectually and emotionally. Artist success is everything to us, and our years of experience and commitment will be behind you for every one of your needs. If you've got music for the world to hear, whether you're a new or established artist, visit us at jtmcenterprise.com.
I'm in almost every school bus and classroom. You see me around the neighborhood and you tell me that I'm a pretty good kid. Well, I'm one out of every 5 children in America, and I'm struggling with hunger. Please visit feedingamerica.org today and find your local food bank for ways to help. Every dollar you donate helps provide 8 meals for kids like me. We are Feeding America, brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
JTMC Music presents the highly anticipated, much talked about, The Juggling Rhythm Volume 1. This classic rhythm takes on a new life with tracks from both established artists and introduces some incredible new voices. Get your dancing shoes ready with The Juggling Rhythm, featuring international reggae dancehall artist Mr. Vegas, alongside Ian Sweetness, Ed Robinson, Jack Radix, Hezron, Dangling, Joanna Marie featuring Galaxy P, Denny Ranks featuring Jawiz, Ambalik, Christine Alicia, Yishka. Also the new sensations on the rhythm: Seal, Danger Lee, Marquis Skelenar, Zachary. Available on all digital media outlets. The Juggling Rhythm. Get it, get it, get it.
It takes an entire village to raise a child. Hello, I'm Paul Campbell, here to talk about Palace. Peace and Love Academic Scholarship. This non-profit group supports students facing serious obstacles from entering or continuing their studies, not because the grades are failing, but due to the lack of financial support.
Over the past 8 years, Palace has awarded 600 scholarships valued at approximately 50.3 million Jamaican dollars, or 415,000 US dollars.
Together, we must build a better future for our children. Please visit www.palace1.org and make your donation to brighten the future of a deserving child. Palace, preserving young minds for posterity.
Hi, this is Cara Manti, and you're listening to DJ Kevin Stew, and this is The Night Shift.
Eyes open up, I'm waking up. one goes big straight elevating. Go hard right now, no waiting. The question is what you do today, king. You can't cheat life, that I no debating. You have to put in the work, forget the great things. All night, all day, till you see the scrapings. Ching. You can't fail if you try, no way. Let God be your guide all day. Give your all every time I say. Just do you want no penny, nobody. Right now all you have is today. Go all out and no go halfway. You can't win, that is all I say. Just do you want no penny, nobody. Me I beg your overs when me talk. Me no mean you fi work hard. When me mean is your fist man, massa. Cause some who know a go hard. Now see ma who know yard. Always pan guard, no sir. You fi include the master. Overstand say that a the forecaster. Get balance with God in the center. So everything you want you will get that faster. You can't fail if you try, no way. Let God be your guide all day. Give your all every time I say. Just do you want no penny, nobody. Right now all you have is today. Go all out and no go halfway. You can't win, that is all I say. Just do you want no penny, nobody. You can't fail if you try, no way. Let God be your guide all day. Give your all every time I say. Just do you want no penny, nobody. Right now all you have is today. Go all out and no go halfway. You can't win, that is all I say. Just do you want no penny, nobody. I'm waking up.
I want to say thanks to Althea and her heavenly healing hands. And she sponsors this segment of the show. Althea is a licensed massage therapist that comes to you wherever you are in Broad County, North Miami-Dade, South Palm Beach County. Just give her a call. 954-655-9000, 954-655-9000, or send her an email at feelate@att.net. I can tell you this. If there's one thing that I had to get for my Earth date, it was Althea laying her heavenly healing hands on me. Believe that. Inviting you to invite someone to come and tune in, share in, call, text, jump in the chat room, aka the stew pot. Numbers to get you in touch: 773-789-STEW, 773-789-7839. You can call, you can text. No need to be afraid. It's a judgment-free zone right here, yeah? Thank you, Caramanti. Track called Eyes Open Up. And it's one of the things that we really need to do. We need to open our eyes. Because when it comes to vaccinations and the schedule that is now being mandated or being pushed, you really have to wonder at what cost, at what real cost, and who is it costing, who is benefiting. In June 2018, the New York Court of Appeals unanimously ruled that the New York City Health Department has the right to require annual influenza vaccination for children attending childcare and preschool. Now, children aged 6 months to 59 months must get a flu shot every year, or they cannot attend childcare or preschool. Must. Let me ask this question. At what age does a child's immunity develop? And a follow-up question to that question is, how does a child's immunity develop? Now, if you can answer any of those questions, then you'd see a problem with this mandate. As with HPV, the influenza vaccine has serious adverse effects, including potentially lifelong health problems such as GBS and chronic shoulder injury related to vaccine administration. It's called SIRVA, shoulder injury related to vaccine administration. Flu shots may also increase your risk of contracting more serious influenza infections. Research suggests those who have been vaccinated annually may be less protected than those with no prior flu vaccination history. You know who I feel it for, who I really feel it for when it comes to flu vaccinations? Those in healthcare. Because they're required to get the flu shot. I really, really feel it for them. It's a part of their job. Research presented at the 105th International Conference of the American Thoracic Society in San Diego also revealed that children who get seasonal flu shots are more at risk of hospitalization than children who do not. That's an actual statistic? Or did someone make that up? Children who had received the influenza vaccine in previous years had 3 times the risk of hospitalization as children who had not. Among children with asthma, the risk was even higher. Now, do you realize that now, more than before, you have a lot more asthma cases? So, even that increases the risk, increases the chances that a child will end up in the hospital after getting the influenza shot, the flu shot. The same flu shot that is touted to be of so much use. There's also the potential for vaccine strain influenza virus shedding by recently vaccinated persons, which has taken on renewed importance with the introduction of the live virus vaccine, FluMist, during the 2018, 2019, and 2019, 2020 seasons, which means it's right now. While the CDC states that the live vaccine strain influenza virus in FluMist is too weak to actually give recipients vaccine strain influenza, research has raised some serious questions. Well, let my feeble mind ask this question. If it is too weak, why is it being given as a vaccine? To say that you're introducing the virus to the body so that the body can fight it successfully? Seriously? You're aware that no 2 people catch the same flu virus? Or is that a myth? Because as far as I know, it was doctors that put out that information. MedImmune, the company that developed FluMist, is aware that the vaccine sheds vaccine strain virus. In its prescribing information, they describe a study on the transmission of vaccine strain viruses from vaccinated children to non-vaccinated children in a daycare setting. In 80% of the FluMist recipients, at least one vaccine strain virus was isolated anywhere from 1 to 21 days following vaccination. They further noted one placebo subject had mild symptomatic type B virus infection confirmed as a transmitted vaccine virus by a FluMist recipient in the same playgroup. Type A and B influenza virus infections can be silently spread from person to person with few or no symptoms, whether a person has been vaccinated or not. One study revealed not only that influenza virus may be spread via simple breathing, that is, no sneezing, no coughing, just breathing, something that you're required to do to live. But also that repeated vaccination increases the amount of virus released into the air. According to the CDC, for the past 14 flu seasons, the influenza vaccine has been less than 50% effective. This is according to the Centers for Disease Control. So if it is less than 50% effective, why is it mandatory? So now using vaccines and making it a must to cover up that the vaccine doesn't work? Are you for, how is that explained away? And how is it that that is okay? I don't get it. USA. This is one of the reasons I'm talking about this, especially today. Because my children fall into the category, that age group. Well, my oldest does for sure. That 12 to 17 as it relates to Gardasil. And, well, I have a newborn niece. Brand spanking new to this world. Not a month yet. That is going to have to deal with this vaccination schedule. Yeah, I don't live in New York, but don't believe in South Florida that we are immune to what is being recommended in New York, what is being passed as bills. We're not immune to it. It's a big business and it's a nationwide business. The CDC recommends that children get 2 doses of MMR vaccines. The first dose is given between ages 12 and 15 months. The second dose between 4 and 6 years. The second dose was recommended started in 1989 in response to instances of primary vaccine failure of 1 dose. Measles outbreak in the US over the past decade highlight increasing instances of vaccine failure. And there have been recent calls for a 3rd booster dose of MMR. As of October 3, 2019, The CDC reported that 1,250 cases of measles had been confirmed in 31 states since January 2019, the largest number reported since 1992. But in all of this, no deaths have occurred. Let me ask this question. If the adults that are around now are vaccinated against the measles, mumps, and rubella, how are the children getting it? Right. So the assumption then is that immigrants are causing the babies to get sick. Is that it? And since the documented immigrants have to get a certain shot schedule, you're saying that non-documented immigrants are bringing diseases into the country? Is that the argument? I'm just asking, because immigrants seem to be blamed for everything. And yeah, I am not reading this off the information. I'm putting it out there. Because that seems to be the argument. Does it hold water? Right. Before the measles vaccine was developed and recommended for use by all children in the US, in the 1960s, virtually all children got measles. The number of cases were vastly underreported because there were relatively few complications in developed countries like the US. It's likely that upward of 3.5 million children, an entire birth cohort, may have been infected annually, with 380 related deaths. So 380 out of 3.5 million. Authors of one study in the Lancelot Infectious Disease reported that when measles infection is delayed, negative outcomes are 4.5 times worse. Let me say that again. When measles infection is delayed, negative outcomes are 4.5 times worse than would be expected in a pre-vaccine era, in which the average age at infection would have been lower. Meanwhile, in the majority of cases, measles infection resolves on its own without complications. As discussed in a special report published in May by NVIC on the science and politics of eradicating measles, the once common childhood disease was not feared the way it is today. Getting measles was considered a normal part of passage through childhood, one that helped the immune system mature and provided durable immunity that mothers could pass on to their newborns to protect them in the first year of life. Are you following what is going on? Unfortunately, with the waning effectiveness of the measles, mumps, and rubella vaccine, protection is not lifelong, leaving older children and adults potentially vulnerable. As pregnant women no longer have natural immunity to pass on to their newborns, very young infants are more susceptible to the disease. Now, despite this, With each new reported measles case, there have been increased calls for measles mandates across the board. Barbara Lowe Fisher, co-founder and president of NVIC, stated this year the fear-mongering about measles has reached epidemic proportions in America. A day does not go by without media outlets publishing angry articles and editorials spewing hatred toward a tiny minority of parents with unvaccinated children who are being blamed for measles outbreaks. Quick question. If you are vaccinated against something which is supposed to provide you immunity to it or protection against it, and I have it, how are you supposed to get it? You're protected, right? So how are you supposed to get it? The remedy is always a call to track down, persecute, and punish any parent whose child is not vaccinated. Some state and federal lawmakers are reacting to the relentless fear-mongering by proposing to severely restrict the medical vaccine exemption and eliminate all religious and conscientious belief exemptions in state vaccine laws. These exemptions, which help prevent vaccine injuries and deaths, also protect parental rights, civil liberties, and the ethical principle of informed consent to medical risk-taking. All that is out the window with these mandatory vaccinations. Gone. MMR and HPV vaccines, along with the annual flu shots, are only a few in a long list of current and future vaccines you and your children may be mandated to get if things keep going the way they are going. So the question now beckons, after the MMR, the flu shots, and the HPV, what's next? Drug companies are fast-tracking more than a dozen new priority vaccines for children, pregnant women, and adults, including respiratory syncytial or syncytial. I've never even heard of this. Respiratory syncytial virus, syncytial virus. What is that? I don't even know. I need to do a show on that alone. Oh, it's syncytial? I don't know. Somebody tell me what that is. Anyway, there's that. There's Streptococcus A and B, HIV, herpes, simplex virus, gonorrhea, E. coli, Shigella, salmonella, tuberculosis, malaria, and so many more. There's a push for the drug companies are fast tracking vaccines for these conditions. And industry will likely lobby governments to mandate all of them. Why? Because there's a dollar amount that is tacked on to it. So we come back to the question, what is the big business? Is it health care in treating symptoms, or preventing ill health? Where is the money in the business? It's in the treating of the symptoms, which means you need to have a condition for the symptoms to show so you can treat the symptoms. Or, in the case of these vaccinations that seem to be failing, you need to have a condition in order to administer the vaccination. Wait a minute. This condition exists and always has existed, but we've all gone through it and we've been fine. Let's go ahead and create a fear of this virus so that we can make some money off of it. Nobody sees where that has happened. The fear is not real. If it were real, then many of us wouldn't be here today. Because our parents would have gone through some of these conditions and would have come out for the worse. So, what's the big deal? The dollar bill is the big deal. We're going to take another break. When we come back, we talk a little bit more and we get into our much needed musical therapy on this, my happy Earth date. And it is a happy Earth date. Not because I'm all worked up about this, but I need to be worked up about it. Or else, who am I going to have around me to celebrate life? Right. Not many people. We'll be right back. Matthew 28:19 says, "Go ye therefore and teach all nations." With this in mind and encouragement received during a South Florida media conference, The Church Links was birthed. The Church Links is an interdenominational worship service portal for churches, providing the tools to spread the word through technology in a cost-effective way. The Church Links, www.dahchurchlinx.com. Your links to worship and praise.
Today in school, I learned a lot. In chemistry, I learned that no one likes me. In English, I learned that I'm disgusting. And in physics, I learned that I'm a loser.
Today in school, I learned that I'm ugly and useless. And in gym, I learned that I'm pathetic and a joke. In history, I learned that I'm trash.
Today in school, I learned that I have no friends. In English, I learned that I make people sick. And at lunch, I learned that I sit on my own because I smell. In chemistry, I learned that no one likes me.
In biology, I learned that I'm fat and stupid. And in math, I learned that I'm trash.
The only thing I didn't learn in school today?
The only thing I didn't learn today?
The only thing I didn't learn?
Is why no one ever helps.
Kids witness bullying every day. They want to help, but they don't know how. Teach them how to stop bullying and be more than a bystander at stopbullying.gov. A message from the Ad Council.
When being in the moment is priceless, consider the ability to share that moment. If you can video it, you can broadcast it. And Pulse eMedia Group has the tools you need. Weddings, birthdays, funerals, graduations, church services, parties, seminars, you name it. Pulse eMedia Group can provide you with a secure medium controlled by you to broadcast your event. Contact us at www.pulseemediagroup.com for more information. Pulse eMedia Group, when being in the moment is priceless.
Hey, I'm representing for DJ Kevin Stew, working on the night shift radio show. Won't go changing like the weather, just to please the devil never. Will DJ Kevin Stew sell his soul? That's a word and honor. It's Christine to representing word and honor. Still I say DJ Kevin Stew.
It's Una Morgan. New time, new sign. Evolution, come on, evolution. Didn't know I was supposed to be. Didn't know who I was. Being the girl I thought I should be. Put my life on pause. At times I didn't feel right. Living in my own mind. Didn't know I was so blind. But now I see it's evolution. Ain't no illusion. This evolution. 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 Me, I do what me have to do. Say what me have to say. Look here what you have to say. Say what me want to say.
Pull up with the glizzy, gon' OD. All these little bodies, and they know me. Pull up with the glizzy, gon' OD. All these little bodies, and they know me. Rockstar Bon Jovi. Rockstar Bon Jovi. All these little bodies, and they know me. Rockstar Bon Jovi. I learned it was chosen, get lost in emotion. Break through the commotion I do. Shots make you jump up, gon' party till sun up. Like we don't got nothing to lose. All through the come up and working to stun up. I get what I want, yeah I choose. From winter to summer, I keep me my gunner. The haters, they want me to snooze.
This evolution, my evolution, my evolution. This evolution, evolution. I wanna say evolution. Me, I do what me have to do. Say what me have to say. Look here what you have to say. Say what me want to say. Up we say, up we say, up we say. That just say, up we say, up we say, up we say. That just say. Now it's time for me to be grown. No more time for games, no more time for playing. I will never ever be alone. Gotta make a change, time to rearrange.
Evolution, mind captivation, feel the vibration, never watch fade. Fun on pollution, Afro evolution with a pun. Hep word, I'm a weapon. Rise from the ashes with vengeance, sending the blessings every sentence. Feeling my essence in your presence, ayy. Whoa, 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 ayy. Mix the evolution with a pun. Living in illusion through all the confusion. I forgive thanks for the almighty one. Still remain strong in a white man land. Mix the evolution with a pun. It's a evolution with a pun. Miss the evolution with a pun. Okay. No pollution. What we say? What we say?
This evolution, my evolution. Ain't no illusion. This evolution, evolution. I wanna say evolution. Me, I do what me have to do. Say what me have to say. Look here what you have to say. Say what me want to say. Now it's time for me to be grown. No more time for games. No more time for playing. I will never ever be alone.
The sound of Una Morgan.
Time to re-up. Now it's time for me to be.
Working out with Jedi and Beta Bricklayer.
No more time for playing. I will never ever be.
I want to say thanks to JTMC Enterprise for sponsoring this segment of the show. JTMC will provide entertainment, tour management, bookings, promotions, event management. Did I say that already? I think I said so. Social media management.
Now it's time for me to be grown. No more
Let's give them a call.
time for playing. I will never ever be alone.
New number 954-998-8034.
No more time for games. No more time.
Or you can reach out to them on JTMC Enterprise.
Say what me have to say. Look here what you have to say. Say what me want to say. Now it's time for me to be grown. No more
On their website,
no more time for playing. I will never
jtmcenterprise.com.
time to rearrange.
Thank you, Jonah Marie and crew. So, if you're just tuning in, welcome to the show. I still encourage you to jump into the stew pot. It's where we keep things bubbling. It's our interactive section of the website. Others call it a chat room. We are very fancy. We call it the stew pot. You can call, you can text 773-789-STEW and get share your opinion, share your information, share your views. And I want to say thanks to someone that just sent me some information just now. She's a nurse. Well, I should hope that. Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, so someone sent me some information just now, and they said, you know, in the hospital that I work in, it's not mandatory. It is encouraged that you get the flu vaccination. If you decline, you just have to complete and sign a form saying that you decline. And you'll be required to wear a mask in all patient care areas. Listen, if I was a healthcare professional in that hospital, I'd be wearing the mask. As a matter of fact, I'd be so fashionable with it, it would become a trend. Because the whole idea of it being mandatory, that you get something that isn't really going to work, that's just crazy. It's not guaranteed to work. But more cases than not, you end up with more complications. And that to me just doesn't make sense. With all the uncertainty surrounding the safety and efficacy of vaccines, it's critical to protect your right to make independent health choices and exercise voluntary informed consent to vaccinations. It is urgent that people in America stand up and fight to protect and expand vaccine informed consent protections in state public health and employment laws. And the best way to do it is to get personally involved with your state legislators and educate the leaders in your community. National vaccine policy, the recommendations are made at the federal level, but vaccine laws are made at the state level. It is at the state level where the action to protect vaccine choice rights can have the greatest impact. It is critical for everyone to get involved. Everyone. Get involved. Get involved right now. Stand up for the legal right to make voluntary vaccine choices in America, because those choices are being threatened by lobbyists representing drug companies. They're being threatened by lobbyists representing medical trade associations and public health officials who are trying to persuade legislators to strip all vaccine exemptions from public health laws. There's even a free advocacy portal at nvicadvocacy.org. And that gives you immediate access to your own state legislators on your smartphone, on your computer, on your tablet, on whatever device that you choose to use. This helps you to get your voice heard. It helps us to get our voices heard. We'll be kept up to date on the latest state bills threatening vaccine choice rights, and we'll get practical, useful information to help become an effective vaccine choice advocate in our communities. And when the national vaccine issue comes up, as a result of being right there, you'll have up-to-date information and call to action items that you need at your fingertips. You don't need to go searching for anything. Instead of sharing some ridiculous video about some ridiculous things that help nobody, share something like this with your friends and your family members. Because these are the things that are important. Consider this. If the people that you're sharing that mindless laugh with, and I'm not saying laughter isn't good medicine. Laughter is good medicine. I'm all for fun and laughter. But you have an option to share something that could save someone's life, or to share something that is going to provide you 30 seconds of entertainment. Which one is more important? Those are the kind of things that I'm talking about. This right here, when the sharing about the NVIC advocacy, this is one of the things that are important. These are the things that save lives. If you don't want to save yours, I want to save mine, and I want to save the life and lives of those that are close to me. So what do you think is going to happen? I am going to share that on my social media. Now, if you don't want to see it, fine. That's your choice. But I am going to share it. If you don't stand for something, you're gonna fall for anything. That's something that I learned very early in my life. Let me ask you this question. Where do you stand? At this point, where do you stand? What is it that you are going to say, you know what? I feel strongly about this. And as a result, I'm going to take a position on it. Where do you stand? We're gonna go into some early musical therapy because it is my Earth date. And this has been a pretty heavy topic also. But it's necessary. We don't want to just go with the fun and games all the time. The light-hearted discussions. Yes, they serve a purpose. But the serious topics also serve a purpose. A real purpose. This is one of those serious topics. Because it affects everyone. From the newborn to the old fogies. Everyone is affected.
The youth them just a war and them a lose them life. Better them go find a little hustle and go put on the gun. But the system a turn them in a outlaw. And me sure them a get charged with murder. But the youth them a get out of order. And them no care about no officer. What kind of world are we living? Pure violence and crime. What kind of world are we living? Too much killing all the time. What kind of world are we living? Pure violence and crime. What kind of world are we living? Youth them a lose them mind. What I really want them now penetrate. Sit down in a office and a hesitate. Them should have tried with the youth them a future before it's too late. Before the violence that broke out like cancer. Better than go try find the answer. Look how much people get started and still yet them don't know the father. What kind of world are we living? Pure violence and crime. What kind of world are we living? Too much killing all the time. What kind of world are we living? Pure violence and crime. What kind of world are we living? You them a lose them mind. What kind of world? Say what kind of world? Oh, what kind of world are we living? What kind of world are we living? Pure violence and crime. What kind of world?
This is the sound of Anthem Band.
Too much killing all the time.
A track called What Kind of World.
The fuss and fight. The youth them just a war and them a lose them life. Better them go find a little hustle and go put on the gun. But the system a turn them in a outlaw. We sure them a get charged with murder. The youth them a get out of order. And them no care about no officer. What kind of world are we living? Pure violence and crime. What kind of world are we living? Too much killing all the time. What kind of world are we living? Pure violence and crime. What kind of world are we living? Youth them a lose them mind. I look and know the truth don't need no debate, no way. Why you hype up yourself?
This is the sound of Jadan.
Yeah, lie you are
The
telling
track is called
truth.
simply that.
No, I
Truth.
ain't no way. So why you are defend yourself when I don't say I lie you are tell? You tell a lie till you confuse yourself. Run down money and you don't got no help. Put your heart where you can't reach it. You ready? I see people things. Tell me why you want if it have a ulterior motive and it's no secret. Me come here so fi speak it to everyone. Me come fi reveal it. No more, me now hold no secret. Tell us the truth. Don't need no defense, no way. Why you want defend yourself when you don't say a lie? You are tell the truth. Don't got no argument, no way. So why you want hype up yourself when you don't say a lie? You are tell. Me did tell you, so every action I go bring up a reaction. Why you want to play the victim when you know how you do me wrong? You know it hurt me. why you want to defend yourself? When you do say I lie, you are tell.
She called me on the phone, acting good, I'll be coming home. She's feeling all alone.
This is Little Kirk. AKA Kirk Davis. It's called That's the Way Love Goes. I want to say thanks to GMAT Music Solutions for sponsoring this segment of the show. GMAT Music Solutions providing stage production services, lighting services, musical equipment, audio engineers, DJs, musicians, bands, singers. Let's get them a call. 754-307-GMAC, that's 754-307-4622. Tell them DJ Kevin Stew sent you, yeah? You heard about him on the night shift with DJ Kevin Stew in the musical therapy segment, to be specific with it.
Last night, she called me on the phone, acting good, I'll be coming home. She's feeling all alone. Is that was late to could I be? She needs some company. Her body's calling me, but I was lying in that girl's arms. Selfish of me, she never knows my fault. Still love on the side, and I could never tell her where I've been, because I knew it had to be with rain. Oh, I love her so. Sometimes that's the way I go. I try to explain, she don't believe a word I say. I'm cheating and she's hurt. It's getting on her nerves. She asked me why and where did she go wrong. She said she thought this love was strong. She didn't know that all along that I was lying in a man's girl's arms. Selfish of me, she never crossed my path, but there I was, still love on the side, and I could never tell her where I've been, because I know it hurts to be with them. Oh, I love her so. Sometimes that's the way I go. Baby, I know that I've done you wrong, but you should know that it's still wrong. Sure, I want you there, and that's no lie. You're the girl, you're the woman, you're the love of my life. I was lying in a man's girl's arms. Selfish of me, she never crossed my path, but there I was, still love on the side. I could never tell her where I've been, because I know it hurts to be with them. Oh, I love her so. Sometimes that's the way love goes.
26 minutes to the top of the hour. I have 26 minutes of musical therapy to get through
She's feeling all
before we call it a day. But you know, I celebrate my Earth Date all month long.
needs some company. Her body's calling me, but I
Must remind you though that coming up this Saturday is the annual NAMI Walks, and NAMI Walks Broward County is happening at in Coconut Creek on West Sample Road at a park called Tradewinds Park. I almost forgot. Tradewinds Park, and there are a few spots left. Go ahead and register. You can go to my website, kevinstew.com, and watch out for the NAMI Walks slider. It's entitled Hero 2019. When you see that slider come around, just click on it or tap on it, depending on the device that you're using, and it will take you straight to the registration page. And it will take you to the page that has some more information about NAMI Walks also. Please, please, please go ahead and register. Be a part of it. It doesn't take anything away from you, and it helps to bring awareness to something that is also near and dear to me. Mental health. NAMI is an acronym for the National Alliance on Mental Illness, and this is their annual fundraising walk. It's a 5K, sorry. What's that? 2.5 mile walk. It's happening at Tradewinds Park, and there'll be vendors out there. There'll be speakers presenting. You don't want to miss it. It's an entire event happening. It goes on from 8 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. on Saturday, right? So do what you can to be there. Schedule your time. Take the kids. Take your pets. Yeah, you can even take your friendly pet. Believe me, it is guaranteed to be an awesome event, and definitely for a worthy cause. All right, this is how I'm celebrating my Earth date. You know, and like I said, I'm celebrating all month long. It started off this past Saturday with the MJ Media Workshop. That was phenomenal, and we definitely need a bigger space, MJ. So, looking for bigger things for the next workshop. But there, you know, I choose to celebrate this way. How you choose to celebrate is the way you choose to celebrate, and that's fine. But I do encourage you to come out and be a part of this. All right? Cool.
Right by my side, oh girl, you are my joy and pride.
This guy here celebrated an Earth Day also. Not today, but yesterday. This is Scotty P working out with the Jetworks band. This track is called So Lovely.
So amazing. That's how I know this love is true. Oh baby, it's been a long while since we had some time together. Made so many memories, even better stormy weather. Right now you got me floating light just like a feather. It's now or never, now or never. So lovely and wonderful. That's the way I feel when I'm with you. Don't you ever leave my side. Right next to me, that's where I need you. That's where I need you. Right by my side. Oh Lord. When my friends come around and check for me, ask me what I'm doing, I tell them that I'm busy making preparation just for your arrival. Having your love in my life is key to my survival. So lovely and wonderful. Oh, baby, so amazing. That's how I know this love is true.
This for the Hezites. Hezron. A track called Taxi Driver.
So far away, but you feel so close, next to each other. Who loves you the most? Still, I wish I was beside you now. But trying to get this done sometimes take away a chance to call you now and then. It's the warm and the cold, but the sweetest part of the conversation, the credit for now. I wish I was in your loving arms, holding you now. But I'm here in the freezing weather, trying to put food on the table. And how I wish the promoter would give me mine soon as I'm done. I wanna catch this last flight leaving now, quarter to one. I told my baby I'd be coming home for breakfast. Now I'm standing at the airport, and Jimmy said he's running 30 minutes late. No, I can't wait. Taxi driver, take me to my baby now. Taxi driver, take me, I just gotta get home to her. Coming in from the cold, got a few things that you like. Got a few dollars in my pocket. With you, I wanna spend some quality time. Baby, I wanna treat you like I know you are. Baby, I can't wait to get out this blood. That's the driver, take me to my baby now. Hey, driver, take me, I just gotta get on to her. I wish I was in her loving arms, holding her down. But I'm here in the freezing weather, trying to put food on the table. And how I wish the promoter would give me mine soon as I'm done. I wanna catch this last flight leaving quarter to one. I told my baby I'd be coming home before breakfast. I'm standing at the airport. Jimmy said he's running 30 minutes late. No, I can't wait. Taxi driver, take me to my baby now. Hey, taxi driver, take me, I just gotta get home. Taxi driver.
Oh no, all it did was make me think of you and I'm missing you.
Kevin Stew.
Like I can't take no more. I've been trying, but you won't take my calls at night. I'm missing you.
This is Gramps Morgan.
Girl, I know I messed up, but
a track called One in a Million.
Thought a little time would bring you back. Now I'm a wreck, cause it clearly wasn't so. So tell me what to do or what to say to make it right. Cause I need your arms around me every night. To me you're worth $1 trillion. You're one in a million. I'll never swear by all love, I'd spend a lifetime making it up to you. Every night coming home to you. Oh, 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 yeah. Friends been saying time again, gotta try to get yourself together right. I'm missing you. I do. Sure I get the magnitude, but refuse to give up hope and say that I'm missing you. Just want you to know that 10 years from now, I'll still be knocking at your door now. Your love is irreplaceable, irreplaceable. So tell me what to do or what to say to make it right. 'Cause I need your arms around me every night. To me you're worth $1 trillion. You're one in a million. I'll never find a woman like you. If you would give back your heart, I swear by all love, I'd spend a lifetime making it up to you. Every night coming home to you. Oh, 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 oh.
I turned around. Before I could run, I found you already settled down in the back of my mind.
This is Wild Tree.
I know this is just a customary.
Working out with Annette Brissett.
The moon is our deceiver that will lead
The arrangement
running blind.
of If I Didn't Know Any Better.
Heart is falling. If I didn't know any better, I'd be falling deeper and deeper. It's true. I hear you calling. If I didn't know any better, and I'd be in love with you. Didn't want to look in the eyes of the one that I would be drawn to. I'm a moth lost in the fire. I know this is just a beautiful illusion, a case of the confusion between love and desire. Your heart is falling. If I didn't know any better, I'd be falling deeper and deeper. It's true. I hear you calling. If I didn't know any better, and I'd be in love
Zed Robinson.
How could I
His rendition of How Could I Live. Ed Robinson will be in South Florida this coming weekend at the Grace Jamaican Jerk Festival.
say goodbye?
Do go out and say hi.
Just like a rose, yeah. If you don't water it every morning, yes, it withers and will die. Oh, boy, I promise you won't leave me. I promise you won't hurt me. Promise you won't ever make me blue. Oh, yes. If you ever leave me, if you should desert me, baby, I don't know just what I'll do. I said I really don't know just what I'll do. I said I really don't know, no, just what I'll do. No. Ever make me blue, lady, no, cause if you ever leave me, if you should desert me, baby, I don't know just what I'll do. Oh, I really don't know just what I'll do. I really don't know, no, just what I'll do.
This is Jameer Morgan.
You got that fire that makes me come alive every time I'm next to you. You got me.
Can't leave you alone.
Don't even need to roll up. You give me that high even when I'm sober. Even if you're mad, baby, pick your phone up. Cause I just want you to know, baby, I'm here for you, to care for you. You know, send me not gonna nowhere. I'll prepare the world for you. Little bit by little bit is all I can't leave you alone.
Do you have some people in your life that you can say, hey, you know what? No matter what. Can't leave you alone.
I can't leave you alone. Girl, you got me thinking about your love, especially when I'm gone. And now I'm glad I'm the man you see, cause your heart's been cold. Talking about cold like December, only your touch I remember. Can't shake it off like a timber. Anytime you need my loving, call on me. Whoa, yeah. Oh, yeah. Alright. There's only a few things in life that makes me feel good, but nothing compares to you. You got that fire that makes me come alive every time I'm next to you. You got me like, hold up, let me roll up, baby, come dance with me. Oh, and even if you're mad, baby, pick up the phone for me. Yeah, baby, I'm here for you, here for you. You know, say me not gonna nowhere. I will be the world for you, little bit by little bit is all I can't leave you alone, alone. I can't leave you alone, I can't leave you alone, alone. I can't leave you alone, alone. I can't leave you alone, I can't leave you alone, alone. I can't leave you alone, alone, alone.
I just can't leave you alone, but I gotta go. I will be back though.
Every wind that blows, every wave that rolls, with the coming and going of the tides. Everyone that sees
This is Third World, working out with Fiji.
because my love can't hide. Every sun that sets,
Loving you is easy.
and every moon that shines. I feel like a winner on
Join me later on.
because you are a sweepstake prize.
I close out the night shift week. Real Talk Wednesday.
Cause the way you make me feel, loving you is simple. That's the way it's supposed to be.
You definitely don't want to miss it.
Baby, with you by my side, I feel so young and free. I can love you on and on and on and on, on and on and on. Only kind of woman I would wait for a long time. You know you were the baby, you know that. She know like stress you out, she know make any kind. Sweet and humble lady every time. Bamba, you learn about her when you get for fine. And everybody watching saying must be nice. One thing that she gets and nobody else no more. Humility and roots and culture. She's a dream queen for every warrior. I'll lay down my life here. Loving you is easy. I guess we're meant to be. Loving you is simple. It must be destiny. I'll be loving you for you, and you love me for me. We'll be loving on and on and on and on and on.
There's no better love. Loving you for you. You loving me for me. It's like perfect.
Every wind that blows, every wave that rolls, with the coming and going of the tide.
Catch you all at 10 p.m. Eastern
Everyone that
until midnight.
because my love can't hide.
We do what we call Marlon's favorite night shift show. Real Talk Wednesday.
I feel like a winner on my own game show because you are a sweepstake prize.
As I close out my first week of celebrations.
You must be made for me. You must be made. Loving
Thank you, each and everyone, for tuning in tonight. Thank you for your contribution. We make it real easy to say,
I can love you on and on and on and on.
I can love you on and on.
On and on. On and on. On and on and on and on. On and on and on.
When being in the moment is priceless, consider the ability to share that moment. If you can video it, you can broadcast it. And Pulse E-Media Group has the tools you need. Weddings, birthdays, funerals, graduations, church services, parties, seminars, you name it. Pulse E-Media Group can provide you with a secure medium controlled by you to broadcast your event. Contact us at www.pulseemediagroup.com for more information. Pulse E-Media Group, when being in the moment is priceless.